Just 3 episodes remain until Cyclone Denver, and today half of the field for the first ever Challenger Briefcase ladder match will be set. Kofi Kingston and Hangman Page will battle in the opener, with the Hangman looking for redemption. Then the aerial assassin Will Ospreay will take his first steps in the GAW heavyweight division when he takes on Jon Moxley. And in our main event, Samoa Joe can end Aleister Black's World Championship challenge if he picks up a second straight win. Can the Dutch Destroyer force a decisive third match and a date at Cyclone? Wednesday Night Storm starts right now. And our first of 2 matches for the GAW Challenger Briefcase ladder match qualification will feature Hangman Adam Page. And Hangman has had kind of an interesting run since Nitro 9. He's kind of not really been able to find himself. He was on the losing end of an 8-man tag match for the GAW World Championship #1 contendership, ended up losing to Aleister Black in Black's first match back. He was in the Rumble on the Beach and got eliminated, so things have not been going great for Hangman Page, to say the least. But when you're in this match, you are just one ladder climb away from changing your entire fortunes in general admission wrestling. But to even get to that match, he will have to contend with Kofi Kingston, the first time we've seen Kofi since he lost the Intercontinental Championship to Matt Hardy and an interfering Ricochet, the 2 men that we now know work for this mysterious Alpha. So you certainly can't fault Kofi Kingston for not being able to contend with that. But Kingston is back, and with his sights set on a grander prize, the first ever GAW Challenger Briefcase. But can he defeat Adam Page to get the right to fight for that briefcase? Let's find out in our opener. 10-minute time limit in our opener. And the rule is, with all of our Challenger Briefcase qualifier matches, should these 2 men go to a draw in any form or fashion, they would have to rematch later in this episode. So certainly an incentive for these guys to make sure it gets done in the first match. I don't need to tell you how difficult it is to go to the back and have to get yourself re-psyched up. Page, nice little athletic move there. Hangman, I think, coming into this match with a little bit of a different mentality given his struggles. Meanwhile, Kofi Kingston has been about as hot as you can get in GAW. Now Page going for the pin off the beautiful drop kick. Kingston kicks out. And like I said, you can't fault Kingston for losing the title when he did, given the circumstances and what's going on with Matt Hardy and Ricochet. Clearly not something that the average person would be equipped to deal with, what's going on with Alpha right now. So Kingston did what he could and now has his sights set on even loftier goals. And now Kingston, nice leg drop here on Page. Kingston fired up. Fans are fired up. They're loving it from the former IC champ. And now Kingston testing Page out with the pin. Hangman kicks out at 2. Kingston maybe looking to end proceedings early. Trouble in paradise, and it does land. Just like that, Kingston may have turned Hangman's lights out. 2. No! Page kicks out. Takes a strong man to kick out of the trouble in paradise. You look at the men that Kofi Kingston has put away during his reign as champion. Dragon Sleeper Kingston releases. Kingston beat Adam Cole for the title, beat Walter, Jimmy and Jey Uso. Page is up, but Kingston crossbody, and Page turns it around straight into maybe a fall-away slam, and Page, no, turns it into a Samoan drop. The strength from Adam Page to catch Kingston, and now Page going for fall-away. Kingston able to turn it into a reverse DDT. The athleticism and strength on display from these two men. Kingston, monkey flip out of the corner into a springboard, cross body. He put away Jimmy Uso with that very move at Bash of the Beach. This time he has more plans to put away the Hangman. He put Uso away with that move almost 20 minutes into their match. He had given it everything at that point. Jimmy Uso had kicked out of Trouble in Paradise. And now Kofi Kingston maybe setting up for it again, and this time Page gets the elbow up. Beautiful move by the Hangman and a snap suplex. Page letting people know about it. Adam Page has certainly represented himself well after he struggled. He's struggled for so many months here in General Admission Wrestling. Beautiful lariat off the springboard, and now Kingston set up in the corner and gets the knee up. Page has struggled so much in the past few months, but he is in the process of redeeming himself here against a former champion, and what a way to do it. I'm not sure what could come of the Challenger Briefcase. This is all new to us, but it represents nothing if not opportunity. Page off the kick in the Tree of Woe, and he is not letting Kingston rest at all. Page hoists up the former champ. Deadeye from Adam Page. That one lands. The pressure is all on your neck. Can Kingston withstand? Can the former IC champion continue to fight for the Challenger Briefcase? And he does. Kingston kicks out. Wow. Page can't believe it. The fans can't believe it. It takes quite a man to kick out of Deadeye. And now both of these two men have given what they thought was enough to hear that third slap of the mat. And it didn't work either time. The question is, who has more in the tank? Kingston has been in this situation before. It's been a little while since Adam Page has been in a match with stakes like this. And now Page, he's got both feet on the ropes. Kingston able to power him off. Page evidently will do just about anything to win, and I can't blame him, given what awaits him should he win the Challenger Briefcase. Falcon Arrow from Kingston. And Kingston drags Page into the middle, tries to stand him up. Page with the jawbreaker. And now the Hangman follow-away slam. He does it better than just about anybody, but Kingston gets the leg up. And now a beautiful lariat from Kingston. Just under 4 minutes left in this match. Drop kick shaken off by the Hangman. But Adam Page, you can see, absolutely gassed. Kingston, one of the best athletes in GAW. One of the most fit athletes in GAW. And now Page hoists up Kingston, pile driver. I said Adam Page will do anything to win right now. And Page out of the corner, going for the lariat, and Kingston reverses. Page going for a modified buckshot lariat, which we haven't seen him pull out too much here in GAW. But Kingston obviously saw enough to avoid it. And now Kofi, the former champ, lays in a few strikes. Kingston with 3 minutes left on the clock, looking to end things here. Trouble in Paradise, and once again, Page gets the elbow up. Kingston trying to retain the advantage. Page here, that was crucial to avoid Trouble in Paradise, but Kingston still with the advantage. Again, I think Adam Page has represented himself quite well. After everything, Kingston, couple quick strikes and a jumping lariat. Kingston wrestling exactly at the level that he's been at for months. It's Adam Page who has increased his level to compete with a former champion. Now a couple punches to the gut against the ropes, and Page looking for the snap German suplex, and it lands. Page showcasing all of his strength. 2 minutes to go. These two men giving it their all. You can see what the Challenger Briefcase represents to two men who have never held World Championship gold. Page with the elbow to get out of that predicament, and now a DDT flattens Kofi Kingston. Page goes for the pin, and Kingston pushes him off. Kingston, as depleted as he looked, was able to get Adam Page off of him, and now Page, I believe, was maybe looking for Deadeye, and Kingston able to get the elbow up. Less than 90 seconds to go in this match, and Kingston tosses Page over the top rope. I don't know what Kofi's plan is, but he's been around for long enough to have that internal clock. We know all the best athletes have it, all the clutch athletes have it. Kingston has been a former champion. He knows what it's like to perform in the biggest situations. Now Page trying to deadlift the former champ. 45 seconds left in this match, and Kingston has Page up. Falcon Arrow. Kingston will have to put this match away very quickly. We're coming towards the end now. Page shakes off that strike. Kingston is bleeding. 30 seconds left, and Page has tossed Kingston out. Here comes Adam Page. Adam Page with a beautiful tope con hero. But Page rolls back into the ring, breaks the count, but 15 seconds left. I think we could have a draw here. We could be seeing a time limit draw between these two men. Page was going for the DDT on the outside. 5 seconds left. It's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. These two men go to a draw. Wow, if you could ask me all the things I thought I would see from this match, that is not one of them. Wow. Well, these two men will have to rematch later on in the show. But first up, we have another qualifier match. Let's get to that. Well, we have confirmation that Kofi Kingston versus Adam Page will take place after this match. Both men have been sent to the back to receive medical treatment. But first, we have another qualifier match, and coming back for the first time since we saw him in that Cruiserweight #1 contendership battle royal all the way back in episode 17. It's the aerial assassin himself, Will Ospreay, sporting some new facial hair as well, which I can get behind. Ospreay, who's been a cruiserweight for most of his time in GAW, now looking to break into the World Championship scene. And the man he will be facing, wow, is a man that we have not seen in months now. Jon Moxley. We haven't seen him in singles competition. We have not seen Jon Moxley in singles competition since episode 3, if you can believe that. He had taken out his frustrations on Drew McIntyre after McIntyre refused to tag Mox in during an 8-man tag match, and Moxley lost to McIntyre, which of course was a prelude to McIntyre joining the Blade Runners. And Moxley since then has spent a lot of his time in Japan, where he's been fighting with New Japan Pro Wrestling, but he's back here in GAW looking to make a massive impact by being the first ever holder of the Challenger Briefcase. Let's get to the match. 10-minute time limit for these two men, and I am kind of hoping they don't go to a time limit draw here like Page and Kingston, although something tells me the way these two men fight, the way they match up, I don't think that's in the cards right now. Ospreay making his first jaunt into the heavyweight division here in GAW. Ospreay has held heavyweight gold in other promotions that he's been in, of course. I mean, it's not new to him to compete with men this big. I mean, matches against the likes of Joe Coffey, 300-pounder, will show you that Ospreay is certainly equipped to deal with the size, but here in GAW, it's always a different animal. And Jon Moxley weighing in at almost 260 pounds. And this is what he can do to you. Moxley up on the top rope, looking for a superplex. And every move, every strike just comes with that much more power that Ospreay is not used to from other cruiserweights that he has been fighting here in GAW. And Moxley gonna show him that with a few grounded strikes. Ospreay, though, shakes those off pretty easily, and you can see Ospreay's changed his style a little bit as well. You know, they call him the aerial assassin, but you can see that he's put on weight, he's put on a little bit more muscle, and he's not going so much for some of the aerial moves, some of the high-flying, unbelievable stuff that he does, and that time he pulls out his hidden blade out of nowhere, and now he is going up top, and Ospreay shooting star press. Moxley gets the knees up. You can see how hard Ospreay has been working in the training room, working on his fundamentals, getting himself right. And he got himself in shape to be able to face heavyweights like Moxley. Moxley, by the way, after he left GAW for a little bit, has become the first ever two-time United States champion over in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now Ospreay sends him over the top rope and going for the tope, and Ospreay connects. Beautiful plancha from the aerial assassin. But again, it just has a little bit less effect on a heavyweight than it does on the cruiserweights. You can still see the unbelievable athleticism from the aerial assassin is present in everything he does. But it's always different when you're facing heavyweights, and it seems like Ospreay's approach to this match does reflect that. Now, Ospreay has Moxley up. Beautiful sit-out powerbomb. That is not something that Will Ospreay has always broken out. That much is clear, and now Ospreay from the corner goes up. Beautiful over-the-top DDT. Wow, Will Ospreay, you can see the athleticism in what he does, and Ospreay picks up the win. Over-the-top DDT from Will Ospreay. And the aerial assassin has elevated himself to be now the second man confirmed for the ladder match at Cyclone Denver. What a performance from Will Ospreay. First John into the heavyweight division, and he makes a count, beating a former Intercontinental champion in Jon Moxley. And now it looks like Will Ospreay, he's grabbed a mic, and I wonder what he has to say after this victory.
Why am I here? I should be challenging Buddy Murphy and trying to reclaim the Cruiserweight Championship. But he's out running around with the Blade Runners. He's wasting the time of the entire division. A division that has seen legends in this sport, and now it's led by a man who doesn't care to be here. I intend to make that division the elite spectacle of wrestling it once was. I will climb to the top of GAW so I can pull that division up by its bootstraps. I'm coming for you, buddy.
Well, now we get the match that we weren't expecting. Of course, we're still waiting on the main event where Samoa Joe could end his series with Aleister Black with a 2-0 win in that best of 3. But this match is not something we thought we would get, at least for a second time. Hangman Page and Kofi Kingston went to a time limit draw in their Challenger Briefcase qualifier match earlier, so now they have to come back out to the ring, and we must have a winner in this match. And you have to sympathize with these two men, how difficult it must be to come out again after having already wrestled a grueling match earlier. They were able to go to the back and receive some treatment, but they still have to come out and fight again, and there must be a winner from this match. The time limit will remain in effect, but if they are to go to a draw again, then a new participant will be selected for the ladder match. So this is it for these two guys. If they want the opportunity to be the first ever holder of the Challenger Briefcase, they have to earn their spot in that match right now. How will the strategies change for these two guys? What will they do? That is the question that is on my mind, and I'm certain on all of yours as well. I think we know what we're going to get from Kofi Kingston, given his physical fitness, given his passion, everything that he's shown us over the last few months. I think we're going to get the same Kofi Kingston, to the point where we're going to have to peel him off the ring in order to get him to stop fighting. I think that's what he's shown us over the last few months. But Hangman Page, he has not been in this type of scenario very much. You know, Kingston, on top of everything else, certainly has the experience advantage. Page just 25 years old and has not held a title in GAW. So when it comes to Kofi Kingston, everything that he's done, experience-wise, he's been in big moments. He knows what he's doing, and you can see, again, the fitness coming into play. Kingston not letting himself show any level of fatigue, but you can see just in the little things, these pauses here that Kingston is taking, not increasing the pace, not continuing with the offensive onslaught, and it gives Page an opening. So what can Page do in a scenario that is foreign to him? What can he bring to the table now that is new? Kingston kicks out. It's the age-old battle of experience versus youth, but really what it comes down to in this match is a war of attrition more so than anything else. Given what these two men have already been through, Page with the kick, and Kingston dragon screw leg whip, Page straight up, and now Page goes for the high-angle German suplex right by the ropes, and you can see the ropes shaking with the impact of that. Page raking the eyes of Kingston, not always something that the Hangman will pull out in a match. So maybe this is what Page can do. Maybe this is what he can bring to win a match in a situation he's never been in. More intensity. Trouble in Paradise misses, and Page sends Kingston over the top. We're seeing a more intense, more aggressive Adam Page than we've seen in the past. And you'll see it here as Page tosses Kingston onto the apron, the hardest part of the ring, of course. An impact felt on there is like 5 felt in the middle. Page knows that as well as anybody. Kingston able to take things back into the ring, but he stands too close to the ropes. Page hangs him up on the top rope. And now Page with another high-angle German. Again, more aggressive from Hangman Page than we've seen him before. Follow-away slam. The Hangman seems to have found his foothold in this match. Now going for the pin off the follow-away slam, and Kingston kicks out before 2. Just as Page was starting to find his opening in this match, Kingston shows what he's about. Now Page, modified buckshot lariat, and Kingston catches it. It's such a hard move to pull off, especially for a man as fit and as experienced as Kingston. Now Page. Page has Kingston up, pile driver. Not something that we have seen Hangman Page pull out ever, if at all. And now Page has Kingston up. And dead-eye to Kingston. Second one he's taken. 2 pile drivers. 2 dead-eyes for Kingston tonight. You have to imagine that his neck is absolutely searing pain right now, and Page going for the pin, and Kingston kicks out. Oh, it's happening again for Hangman Page. You can see it in his eyes. The frustration knowing that Kingston has already kicked out of a Deadeye earlier tonight. The fans fully behind Kofi. You can hear the passion. Monkey flip from Kofi, and Page kicks out. Is the adrenaline starting to kick in for the Hangman? Page shakes off that kick, but doesn't have it in him to keep the offense going, and Falcon Arrow from Kingston. Kingston pressing his advantage, but Page able to find an opening himself. Now these two guys, what else do they have left? Falcon Arrow once again from Kingston. This is unbelievable what these two guys have been through. Almost 20 minutes of wrestling in two different matches. Trouble in Paradise. Has Kingston just ended Hangman Page's hopes of fighting for the Challenger Briefcase? Kingston rolls him over. 1, 2, no! Hangman Page has kicked out of Trouble in Paradise after over 16 minutes between these two men. Kingston has to do everything he can to try to shore up this match, and now Page. That adrenaline seems to have finally kicked in for the Hangman. He is finding himself in this scenario that he's never been in. They say that you find yourself. Oh my God! Page hits the low blow. The match is over. Page has taken the loss. I can't believe it. Folks, frankly, I am stunned. I am still stunned. Everything that we saw from Kofi Kingston and Hangman Page, and the fact that Page seemed to be coming into his own in the biggest moments, in the biggest moment of his career in GAW so far, for him to throw it all away like that, I want answers. And I think we all do, and hopefully we will get them at some point. For now, though, we move on to the main event. And speaking of answers, we will get the definitive answer between Aleister Black and Samoa Joe. Let's take a look back, episode 22, the opener, where Joe took on Aleister Black, his challenger, in the first of a best-of-3 series, and Samoa Joe gets the job done. It is Aleister Black's first loss since Nitro 9 that the Blade Runners have not been involved in some way. So now Joe can put this series away with a win here. Go 2-0. And now the beloved champion enters the fray once again. Samoa Joe, you have to respect the moxie of this guy to put his belt on the line in a 2 out of 3 series, which is not something that he needed to do. It was not required of him. And you can see that Aleister Black certainly has admiration for Samoa Joe, if nothing else. We can show you this tweet that we read you last episode of Wednesday Night Storm from Aleister Black, saying that Joe was the first man to beat him clean in almost 6 months. And he wants to prove that he deserves to share the ring with one of GAW's great world champions in Samoa Joe. Joe has a chance to lock up this belt with a 2-0 win in the series. Can he do it against Aleister Black? Certainly, Black will be as motivated as anyone to make sure that this series continues on and to prove himself. No time limit here. And Black, beautiful rising knee. So Joe can lock it up. And Aleister Black has been about as good as anyone in GAW, but even he could not take down the mighty Samoa Joe. After everything that Joe has done, now running senton from Joe. Everything that Joe has been through and the men that he's beaten to win this championship and then defend it. And now, oh my God, not this again. Oh no. Not again, no, Switchblade. Switchblade making his way down to the ring, and Switchblade in full view of the referee. Switchblade hits the Blade Runner on Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is the winner, and that's it. That's the series. Joe has retained his title with a DQ win. Black can do nothing but watch as Switchblade attacks Joe and just in a disgusting show. Unbelievable. I'm sorry that we have to end this episode of Wednesday Night Storm like that. Ugh.